Uh, Welcome to this. Well, let me turn down on my end. Two things. Sorry about any humming you may be hearing. That's my fan. Sorry about the yellowing with my camera here. It's things do not want to work out exactly. And sorry about any distortion in the audio coming from my mic, because once again things are not working correctly. But in short, this in particular is a ROM I found. You'll see. I tested this out a little bit to make sure it would work. I went through this bit because I've had so many of them actually mess up on me. But this is Pokeduels, because why not? I really get into Pokemon, I really get into Yu-Gi-Oh, so I figured after finding this, why not actually do both? Now, I get into more of the older gen out of every single generation I've played, but it does not mean I do not understand how to play the newer generations. That makes me sound a lot older, honestly, realizing that. But pretty much where I stopped was when the XYZs were introduced. So this is going to be very interesting. I'm going to have to increase that text speed. Now, I'm not saying I'm going to be playing this all the way through, but I am saying that I do want to enjoy this for what it is. Yes, that is my name. Okay, this text speed is honestly unbearably slow. I just normally let it randomize. It normally comes up with the first name. If it ever comes up with something different, I'll go with that. I'm not very picky. Now, this is not a Nuzlocke, just as a quick note. This is just a random game I found. I ran across it originally on YouTube, to be exact. Yeah, I found it on YouTube originally, and the entire aspect of playing it was very intriguing. So, I decided I was going to play it. Very simple. Now, I do not know all of the evolutions. I found a wiki page with a bunch of evolutions, honestly, and I just went from there. Let's see. Scientists will be waiting for you before Viridian Forest. Okay. Like when I was testing, I believe I got the national dex. But the one thing about this is it involves really three things I really enjoy, primarily. First one's Pokemon, other one's Yu-Gi-Oh! And the third one is the fact I love playing these types of ROM hacks, honestly. Now, I don't do it often, at least on my channel, at least that I've actually played through. But nonetheless, I enjoy them, so here we are. So far, everything still seems to be the same. I honestly, when testing to make sure things actually work, I rush through everything. Which, of course, is any game you want to see me play, just make mention. And I will try to do so. Let's see. Dark Magician, I believe it was Red Eyes and Blue Eyes. Apologies, hit my mic. I guess let's go with Blue Eyes. Like, Blue Eyes is normally my standard choice, honestly. But it doesn't mean I'm always going to be choosing them, at least for any particular deck or anything. No. Of course you would pick Dark Magician. So, honestly, I remember there was a handful of duelists around from the actual anime. I believe you could actually battle Jade in one point in here. That's from what I've seen, but yeah, let's see. Now, as a quick note, the reason why I haven't exactly been recording this week, because I've been trying to get back to recording, I've been working on trying to get video editing a bit more better. There's not much video editing to begin with that I have done. But the entire aspect of me actually doing it, I wish to be able to be better at it, because originally I had a Vitamux, and at one point in time I tried to actually use OpenShot. Just so happens, OpenShot decided when I installed it originally to not work. Whole lot of issues there. It would start crashing, and then eventually I went to one that I found that was a non-install. And in doing so, I tried to execute it there. The thing would just crash every time. So eventually, when I did get it to actually work to an extent where I could try, it would only work up to a certain point. If a video file was longer than, say, 40 minutes, it would instantly stop working. It would crash and get overloaded. Now, I don't know if that's because of the video size, but I have not had that issue recently, so I've been able to actually try to get things to work. Once again, still, because of that little issue, it has caused things to become a little less, well, I don't know how to exactly put the sentence together. It hasn't been as well with the editing, because I've done a little bit of editing before, but not much, because I would try, and if Vitamux would crash as well, it would do one of three primary things. It would, first off, either crash, or secondly, it would just end up corrupting the file, and that never was really that great. When I was recording a lot more beforehand, before I took a big head, it's because of many complications, which I do not wish to get into. There was a bunch of issues where I would actually have spotty uploading sessions, and with that would either be complications with my computer, things happen in my own life here, or it would have been the aspect of the editing being an issue, which was a very likely problem because of either recording messing up or the editing just corrupting the original file to no repair. So when it comes down to that, it just became a big issue. But hopefully I can actually get a bit more actually edited here. But of course, that is not a guarantee. So I do hope to be able to. I think I got through what's supposed to be the equivalent of Brock, and I was supposed to go through Misty. Honestly, I could watch a walkthrough for this, but the fact is, no point. I honestly just want to see how far I'll get, honestly, before I decide to stop. It's a thing for me, at least, that periodically I want to play a game, and then I play it for a certain amount of time period, and then I actually lose interest in it. I either go back to it later in the future, or I proceed to restart from the beginning. And then there's time periods such as, like, for example, my first Pokemon game was Fire Red, and to begin with, I would actually restart it fairly often. I would continuously restart after I beat the Elite Four over and over. So I became very accustomed with that game, honestly. It was like my only Pokemon game for like 3 years, I believe. 2-3 years. Not saying I didn't have other games to play, just the fact that it's the only one I actually had at the time period. Okay, now we have the Pokeballs, so we can actually go catch, I don't know what you call these Pokemon at this point, monsters? I have no idea what you would actually call them at this point. The fact that each one has an ability is honestly a little weird. At least all the ones I found. Now don't mind me, I keep looking over to the side here. With that, my family and I have a Minecraft server that we actually play on. I've been trying to build my base, but I need to AFK to be able to get the material for it. So with that in mind, yeah, I had to tap on jump button every now and then. Bedrock Android. So hopefully this doesn't actually mess up while I'm actually AFKing here. Now let's see. I remember a little bit of the stats I looked up originally. I believe it was like 14, 18 where Karibo evolved the Wing Karibo, and then level 40 or so to, I believe it was Karibo level 10 or whatever. But I guess just go through, and if we actually find a monster we want, we'll actually catch it. That's how I normally play Pokemon games to begin with. It hasn't failed me yet, and probably won't ever. So, I don't remember exactly what all items are inside of here, but I believe there was a tombstone. The tombstone, if I remember correctly, would let me be able to evolve certain monsters, such as like Blue Eyes here, into the Toon variant, as per what I should suggest. But beyond that, I don't remember too much. What do you have to say? See, make sure to speak to everyone. You might get something helpful. Okay. So, just everything in every single game ever. Talk to literally everybody to be able to get what you need. So, honestly, if I remember correctly, if I go through the rival now, it'll be easier than what it would be if I went through them later. But I'm just not going to go through them. Okay, what do you two have to say? So there's a rare grass type monster in Viridian Forest. I wonder what it could be. Okay, there's a rare type. Okay. I honestly have no idea what type in particular. I wonder how you get over there. Yeah, I never got over there. Never got over there, so I'm quite curious myself. But he said there was a rare monster in Viridian. Okay, what do you have to say? Okay, try to interact and battle. Aerodactyl. Okay. Honestly, that's something I find very interesting when it comes down to custom versions like this. They change everything a lot of times but the audio. And that is slightly hilarious, honestly. Because then you get something like Celtic Garden here with Aerodactyl sound. Okay, Celtic Guardian. At this point, I know I'm going to need a handful of monsters just to... what else supposed to talk to? See, the first gym leader has 3, the second one has 4, and everyone thereafter has 6. That is really useful. Which, sorry about this still, allergies. Okay, let's go back and heal real quick and then proceed to go to Viridian Forest. And here we are. Okay. Which I'm trying not to speed up any. I may do that in the training sessions if I continue playing this. But beyond that, I don't really want to rush through the game. Mind you, honestly, to tell the truth, I've found plenty of very interesting ROM hacks that have crashed on me. Like, for example, Mega Power didn't exactly crash, but it caused an issue. The issue was when I got to a certain point, I forgot to go heal, and doing so I lost the battle. Very simple, easy. And then it sent me to some place where I have never been, and in doing so did not have any item to be able to get off, because you need to actually have cut, which I did not have at that time. So I don't know if that was supposed to be a common issue that's been patched. I just haven't ever actually played it much afterwards, and never thought about playing it afterwards. Mind you, with Pokemon games like that, I've noticed there are two different mechanics for Mega Evolution. The first one is you can make it evolve similar like you would in actual Pokemon games. And then you have the aspect of evolving, such as just giving them an item. With that being in mind, the entire aspect is you give them a Mega Stone. Doing so, they're supposed to evolve. Otherwise, you press select, it enables it. Otherwise, you got to give it to them. And honestly, with the aspect, because I've personally myself have studied a bit about how ROM hacks were made, because I got curious honestly and decided to start researching extensively how they were actually done. And in doing so, I found out that you would actually have to have certain different editors, but the aspect of being able to add in a secondary form of evolution like that in battle, that part, I'm really confused how you're supposed to be able to do that. If I'm not mistaken, Celtic Guardian eventually is supposed to evolve into Obnoxious Celtic Guardian, which, with that being in mind, he may be useful. With the Celtic Guardian, I don't know if there's more than just Celtic Guardian, Obnoxious Celtic Guardian. Between the two, I've always preferred Obnoxious because of its ability, honestly. It's an average power, so it doesn't die that easily, so, you know. It's, just in my opinion, one of the better versions of it. Like I said, I don't know if there's any more than just that. But even then, it's interesting enough to actually make note of. I never thought to look it up either, honestly. This isn't going anywhere good. This is going to take forever. Okay, let's switch out. Now, I don't remember as well, I don't remember if Blue Eyes here actually evolves on its own to Blue Eyes Ultimate. I would have to look that up, and for that I'd have to connect to the internet or log out. So, and I just don't feel like doing either at this point. But if anything, it probably, if its level, is probably in the 40s. Just judging. Okay, Pitted Moth. Okay, it looks like we have them almost complete here. Okay, so we've started a little bit here. I don't know, I may honestly play this a bit more in the future. Just with the entire aspect, I enjoy both of them very much. But with that, I would like to say thank you for watching. I would like to subscribe if you wish to. Let me know of any game you'd like to see me play. And honestly, there's only been a small handful of people who've actually watched any of my videos, honestly. And with that, I literally mean any game. As long as I can get a hold of it. And no, I'm not talking about illegally. I'm talking about actually paid for. If it's a free game, honestly, more than really and honestly. But like I said, any game at all. So once again, thank you all for watching. I'll see you in another video.